Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Rena Rouge Tsum Tsum, and it's a mini Tsum Tsum, so you can kind of see Cat Noir in the corner, but I was going to show you them size to a regular Tsum Tsum, so this is like a regular Tsum Tsum, and this is a mini Tsum Tsum, so they're way smaller, and they take like way less bands. So yeah, I made a mini Rena Rouge. I think she's super cute. I'm super happy with how she turned out. And yeah, so this is her. A white spot, and of course we went blurry. Focus. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's what I'm showing you how to make today. I think it's a fairly easy design. If you made my bigger Miraculous Tsum Tsums, the hardest part, as before, is doing the mask because it's in such an odd spot and like just the color placement. So if you were fine with that in the last tutorial, you should be fine in this one. That being said, I do kind of expect you to know like the basic stitches. And basically what I mean by that. So if you followed a couple of my tutorials, you should be fine. But if this is your first one, I would say watch my Loomigurumi basics video because I kind of explain like the terms I use and stuff better there. But yeah, so I think that's it. I also have a mini ladybug Tsum Tsum. She'll be coming soon, probably right after this one. I just wanted to do Rena first. But yeah, they're pretty small. So for the band count for this, I haven't done the exact band count because I'm being lazy right now. But for the Tsum Tsum, it's like with the legs is like 211. I didn't count all this yet, so I would say it's probably about 250 with like her hair and then the tail because it's all that I haven't calculated. If you want like the color breakdown of like exactly how much you need of each color, I'll have it in the description. I just kind of wanted to get into filming the tutorial right now, so I didn't calculate all that, but yeah. I don't think it's too much, because if you think about it, the whole Tsum Tsum's 211, like the whole pattern, like the whole body, so per color it's not that much, and yeah. But I think that's it, so I guess we'll get started. Of course you're going to need a hook to make this, a C-clip or something to mark your rows, whatever you usually use. Okay, I do have a C-clip. I was worried I didn't have a C-clip for a second. And then, of course, you're just going to want whatever bands you want to use for Rena. For her hair, I used orange, and then this was just caramel bands. I don't know what other colors you can use. You could probably figure it out. Basically, her body's a light orange, her hair's a darker orange, so, you know. Yeah. I am thinking about making these a little longer this time. I don't know if I will. We will see. I kind of like her hair, though, just how it is. You're gonna want eyes. I don't know exactly what size eyes these are that I'm using, but they're from the pack of beads I always get, so if you have that exact pack, they're like the biggest ones, or second biggest, I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, but you're gonna need some eyes. I honestly don't know what's there, though. Okay, I think I said everything I need to say and we'll get started. So, to start, we start with the face, so you're gonna want the colors for that. So let me just pull out some of my colors. I didn't pull them out beforehand, oops. And I also will have the whole, like, color breakdown, like, in the description. So, like, exactly how much you'll need of each color. I don't know if I said this already. As well as, like, the pattern, if you find that helpful. So, yeah. So, I will have the pattern in the description. And basically everything I always have in the description. Yeah. Okay. Now I got all my colors. So, to start, we're going to take whatever color you want for the lighter orange part of her mask. I'm using neon orange today. I'm using the exact same colors. So, yeah. So you're going to want to take whatever color you want for, like, her mask. And you're going to wrap it 3 times around your hook. And then you're going to get whatever color you're using for her skin color. You're going to pull it through the whole cap band. Put both ends back on your hook. Push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go back into the cap band, but this time we're going to be using the mask color. We're going to pull this band through everything but the very last band. Put both ends back on your hook. And then push the back one over the front one. And then after you've done that, you're going to push this loop from last time over as well. Actually, I just remembered. We're switching colors. Oops. Because we're switching colors, we're going to want to undo what we just did. So before you push this last one over the front one, I messed up. We're going to be slip stitching every time we flip colors in this pattern. So if I forget to tell you, we're going to be doing this every single time we flip colors. So when you have both ends on your hook, instead of pulling it, like pushing the back one over the front one and then putting this loop over, we're going to be pushing this loop over and then putting the back one over the front one, just because it flips colors nicer. So we're only going to do this when we flip colors. Other than that, we'll be doing it like we usually do. So, yeah. So the next stitch is going to be tan again, so we're going to go back through the cap band. And my cap band's a mess. And we're going to pull this band through everything on our hook because we're flipping colors. And then push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to switch back to orange, so we're going to pull this band through everything on our hook. And then put the back one over the front one. Like that. And then... hold up. I need to check something on my pattern. Okay, I read something wrong and I was like, wait, did I do it right? But yeah, I did. That's Ladybug. Okay, yeah, it's because I forgot to write one part and I was like, oh my god, but yeah, no, we're fine. Okay. So after we've done this, this is like, oh my god, I just totally lost what I was doing, but this is our magic ring that should have 4 stitches in it, and it's really easy to tell if there's 4 stitches because basically they're different colors, so you should have 2 orange stitches and then 2 tan stitches, and it kind of looks like a mess because of all the slip stitching we did, but yeah, you're just gonna have to just make sure you're going to the right loops. You can tell that this is the band going across if you really look, so just make sure you're going. Why did my light suddenly get brighter? Let me turn that down. Okay, it wasn't just me, like suddenly this light, like I can see it in the video, it got really bright. I'm so distracted today, but why did you suddenly get brighter? Chill. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it, but I don't know why it suddenly got like way brighter. Or maybe it got darker outside. We'll never know. Yeah, but like I said, so instead of going back to the cap band, once you've made sure you have 4 loops, you're gonna go into the next loop. And we're going to be slip stitching again because we're flipping colors back to tan. And in case you're still confused on what a slip stitch is, basically instead of pulling it through just the loop, you're going to pull it through everything on your hook. And then you're going to push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to be putting our C-clip on this. So this next row we're going to be increasing everything, and what that basically means is that instead of doing 1 stitch in each loop, we're going to do 2 stitches. So this one already has 1 in it, so we're going to go back in and do another one. And this time we don't have to slip stitch because we're still going to be tans, like using tans, so you can just pull it through just the loop like this, put the back one over the front one, then put the loop from last time over. So we didn't slip stitch that time. But now we're going to flip colors back to the okay. I'm just making sure I have the colors right because I wasn't sure where we add the white, but it's the next row, not this row. But we're going to be flipping back to orange, and we're still increasing everything, so we're going to put 2 orange stitches in this loop. So because we're flipping colors, we're going to pull our band through everything on our hook and then push the back one over the front one. Then we're going to go back in. I'm going to pull this band, and because we're not flipping colors, we're not going to slip stitch, so we're just going to pull it through just the loop, put the back one over the front one, and then put the loop from last time over. Like that. So I hope this is making sense. Basically, wherever we flip colors, we slip stitch. Wherever we don't flip colors, we just do a stitch like normal. And I'm hoping this all makes sense. Okay. But now we're going to flip back to tan, or whatever skin color, but I've been calling it tan because she's tan. I don't know. But we're going to slip stitch, and we're still increasing everything, so every stitch we're doing is going to be an increase. So, increase. And then, once we get to the next loop, we're going to flip back, which should be an orange loop. We're going to flip back to our orange color, our light orange. And once again, because we're flipping colors, the first stitch will be slip stitched, and then the second one we won't slip stitch. And then once we get to the C-clip, we're going to slip stitch back to tan. Okay, and then we'll move our C-clip up. Like that. So after this last row, you should have 8 stitches, and it's kind of hard to count with all the slip stitching, so make sure you don't accidentally count these like bands that are like going across that you can kind of see in the front. I hope you can see that. But you should have 8 loops now, so if you count, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to increasing every third, and we're still doing the mask, so the colors are a little interesting this row, as well as we're adding the eyes, so it's kind of a mess. Where's my other eye? It was right here. There they are. Okay, let me make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, mask like ladybug. White. Oh. Second, half a second. Okay. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Let me pause and read my pattern real quick just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, this row is a little interesting. The instructions in the description are going to look interesting too, so... But I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so like I said, we're increasing every... I said third. I meant every other. We're increasing every other. I'm on the wrong row. Well, I said the wrong thing, but I know what I'm doing. So we just did this, so the next one's going to be an increase, and the first half of this increase is going to be tan, so we're not going to like slip stitch or anything to flip colors, we're just going to make a stitch. But then the second half of this increase, we're going to switch to white. Yes, we're going to switch to white. So we're going to slip stitch, so we're going to pull this band through everything on our hook, and then put the back one over the front one. And then this next stitch is going to be the one that has the eye on it, so just get our eye, make a stitch, and then this next one's going to be an increase, but only the first half of the increase is orange. Also, make sure to slip stitch when you're switching from the white to the eye. I forgot. Just make sure you slip stitch whenever you flip colors. And then the first half of this increase is going to be... So we just did the eye on the third, and we're on the fourth one now, and this one's going to be... The first half of this increase is going to be orange, and then the second half will be tan. And of course, because when we flip to the tan, we'll be slip stitching, because we're flipping colors. And the next stitch will just be tan, and it should just be a single, because the next one after this one's an increase. Just a single. And then this one is going to be an increase, and the first half of this one as well is going to be tan, and then the second half is going to be orange. And we slip stitch, of course, because we're flipping colors. And then the next one should have the eye on it. So we're just going to make a stitch with our eye. Like that. Okay, oops, I'm gonna knock my camera over. So right after we add the eye, the next stitch we're gonna do is gonna be white, so we're gonna slip stitch to white. Okay. I need to adjust, my camera's being, hold up. Okay, we should be good, let me just focus this thing. Okay, so right after we add the eye, we're gonna slip stitch to white. And then the second half of the increase is gonna be tan, or whatever skin color you have for her. And we'll be slip stitching again because we're changing colors. And then right after this we should be at the C-clip, so we'll just make a stitch on the band that has the C-clip on it. And move it up. So after that last row you should have 12 loops, so if you can't you should have 10. Not 10, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of a mess to count right here just because of how everything is, so just be careful with that. Also, I'm going to pause just to check something. Okay, I'll just make sure I did the colors right. But yeah, it should be looking something like this. And like I said, you should have 12 loops. So if we count, you should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What does it say I have 13? Did I count wrong? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we're at 12. Okay, so this next row is going to be very similar to the last row we did. We're going to be increasing every third and then finishing off the mask, so it's pretty simple. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, and we're still going to be doing tan. And then on this third loop, we're going to be doing an increase, and the whole increase is going to be white. So we're going to have to slip stitch to white. So, like that. And then let me flip my pattern over. And then the next one will be orange. And it should just be a single stitch because we're increasing every third. If I don't specify, we're increasing every third, so just every third stitch do an increase. I'm going to be focusing more on color placement this round, so if I forget to say whether or not we're increasing, just remember we're increasing every third, so no matter what, every third stitch should be an increase. But yeah, so the next one's a single, and we're flipping colors again. And then this next loop is going to go back to tan, so we'll slip stitch back to tan. And then of course the loop after should be increase. I need to pick up some bands. Yeah, so this one should be an increase. And then single. Okay. And another single. And then this next one should be an increase. The 10th. Hold up, let me check something again. Okay, so this is a part I keep confusing myself on. I actually had to refilm because I messed up earlier. But basically, once you get to right here, so we just did 2, and this should be the 9th stitch, which would be an increase. But we're actually not going to do an increase. We're still going to flip to orange, but we're not going to do an increase. Instead, we're going to move the increase to the 10th loop, which should be very tiny because it has the eye, it's the one with the eye on it. And it's going to be white. So we'll slip stitch to flip to white. And then the rest will be tan, so. And we're still increasing every third though. But one slip stitch. Okay, also this very last stitch before the C-clip should be an increase because technically this would have been the increase, so it's 1, 2, then an increase, but just the last one before the C-clip is also an increase. The reason I moved the increase over was just so that way the mask looks nicer. I was trying to figure it out how to do it without it, like moving an increase because that's like annoying, but it just looks nicer. Like you'll see in a second that it matches with the other side. And like I did try to do it without it, but it just didn't make sense. So that was actually the last of the increasing we do as well as the last of the mask, so that this is literally the hardest part of the whole design. But after that row should have 16, so if you count it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why did I count wrong? Hold up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16. And this next row we're going to do is just going to be all in the skin color, and it's 1 row normal, and in fact we're going to be doing like 8 rows total and normal, so there's going to be no increasing anymore, and we don't decrease till the end, so yeah, we're going to be doing 8 rows normal, but I'm going to stay on camera for all of them because there's a lot of color placement as well as we have to put the legs on, so I'll be here for all of the rows, but yeah, we're not going to be doing any more increasing. But this next row is just going to be 1 row around. That's just all tan. The only thing with this row is just make sure you're going into the right loop because we did slip stitch a lot. So just make sure you're not going into that across bit. But yeah, the mask is literally the hardest part of this whole thing because you have to flip a lot of colors. But I do think it's worth it because the mask looks super cute. So yeah. Be doing a row around. I already know I'm going to get the question if I'm going to be doing more Miraculous characters. I think I'm planning to do them all with costume and without costumes. So, yeah, they'll all be coming. I know I'm on a bit of a Tsum Tsum kind of thing right now. But I have some of my other designs as well as the dinosaur designs I made that I'm hoping to come up with a tutorial for next. So if you're waiting for those, soon, I promise. Also, I'm going to try to be filming more tutorials because I know it's the summer and more people will be looming, so I will try. I also have some designs I'm working on that aren't Tsum Tsums, but I'm going to try to make the whole Miraculous cast. Like, I know Hawk Moth, someone already said they want. I want to do Queen Bee, so yeah, I'll be doing them all. And I'll be doing all of them as mini, except for obviously the Ladybug and Cat Noir I did because I don't want to run out of bands. Like, I think if I did them all big, I would run out of bands so quickly. So, I'm gonna be making them all mini, which I don't think you guys mind. So, yeah. But yeah, just wanted to let you know. Now we're just gonna move the sequel up. Like that. Now she should be looking something like this. I actually like to add the nose at this point just because her face looks cuter. I don't know. Basically to do the nose, we just take 2 bands and we wrap them 4 times around our hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'll pull a band through everything. It's so hard. I don't know why whenever I do like doubled bands wrapped around 4 times my hook, I have such a hard time pulling the band through. Hold up. Let me just pull it through. You guys already know what you have to do. Doing it on camera seems to be a struggle, so yeah. Okay, cool. And then basically where I put the nose is the same every time, so because our cat band had 4 stitches in it, I usually just go in between with 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. Then I'll tie the nose in. Like that. Now you get a better idea of her face. And I usually just pull this inside and just let it hang, like it's not hurting anyone. Like that. Okay, so the next row we're going to be starting to add her hair, so some of her hair on top. Not this, but there's some orange underneath. We do all this, like her ears and like the flat, like all her hair after, but I put some orange on the bottom so she doesn't look bald. So we're going to start adding the orange this row. It's pretty simple. Okay. So we're going to be, so this row is really easy. It's just like some of it's orange, some of it's tan. So, yeah. This is 1, 2, and then on the third one we'll start adding orange. So 2, and then this is the third one. So we're going to start adding orange on this one. So we'll slip stitch to orange, and then all the way till the 11th we're going to be doing orange. So this next one's the 4th, 5th, 6th. This is usually how I count. But I'll tell you how many orange across we did after if you are confused. So what are we on the 6th? So this is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Okay, so we only need to do 2 more. 10th. And 11th. So I just did 11 across, but if you want to know exactly how many orange stitches I just did, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just did 9 stitches in orange, or from the 3rd to the 11th if you count like in my whack way. But now we're just going to flip back to tan, and it'll just be tan until the C-clip. Did I go through the same loop? I did not. I was so worried I accidentally increased. And we'll just move the C-clip up. Like that. So after this row you should still have 16. Actually, this is a good row to count to make sure you didn't like accidentally go into anything when we're doing a lot of the color flipping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. And I'm probably going to not count sometimes, but after each of these rows until I specify that we're decreasing, you should have 16. But this next row we're going to add the legs. So I'm going to show you how to do the legs real quick. So we're just going to set, if you have another hook you can leave it in, but I'm just using one, so I'm just going to set her aside. And let me get some black. And the legs are pretty simple. Basically, it's like it's a magic ring with 4 stitches in it. So we're gonna wrap a black band around our hook 3 times, and then I just need to pick up some bands. And then you're gonna be putting 4 stitches in this cat band. So it's just like when we started it, like this. Started the Tsum Tsum. Oh my god, my face is so itchy suddenly. So we're just going to pull the band through the whole cat band. Put the back one over the front one. And we're going to go back in to the cat band. We're going to pull a band through just the cat band. Put the back one over the front one. And then put the loop from last time over. We're going to do the exact same thing we just did 2 more times. So we have 4 stitches in total in the cat band. And then once you've done that, you're going to go into once you have 4 stitches and you know you have 4 stitches, you're going to go into the first loop instead of back into the cat band. And then we're going to pull like a lighter orange band through. And then we'll just set this aside. And it shouldn't come out if you don't pull on it, so you can just carefully set it aside. Mine just came off. Usually what I do to set these aside, because they do kind of pop off, is I'll just like, not like tight, but just like set it like this, because it doesn't come apart then. And we're going to have to make another leg. I'm going to go pause and make the other leg just because I don't want to have you guys do that again. But basically it's just a magic ring with 4 stitches in it. So I'm going to go do that real quick. Okay, so I just finished making, so I have 2 legs, and I just have them like tied off like this for now. We'll have to undo those, but it's fine. So actually this row we're going to be doing black on the bottom instead of tan. So this first stitch that we actually have the sequin on needs to be black. So I'm just going to undo it and then redo it with black. And we will be slip stitching because we're flipping colors. So I just undid the thing that had the sequin on it. The stitch that had the sequin on it, just to switch it to black because I forgot to. So now it's black. And then the next stitch will be black as well. And then all across the top until we get to this one. So before the last orange, they're all going to be orange again. But this row, instead of going all the way to the 11th, we only go till the 10th. So just stop stop once you get to like the last orange. Like before the last orange, if that makes sense. And I'm just picking up some orange bands really quickly. I also think this was the last row with hair. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? That's not very helpful instructions, but okay. But yeah, so we're just going to be doing some orange across the top again. All the way. Oops, my sequin just fell out. Here we go. All across the top. I feel like she's going to come together really quickly once we finish the mask, because I know, like, I think it was like almost half an hour of this tutorial was just on her face. So once you get to the like one before the last, well, the last orange is actually flipping to black this time. Hopefully that makes, oh my god, my explaining skills. Yeah. Now I'm just picking up black bands. Yeah, so basically the last orange loop is actually going to be black. So we'll slip stitch to black, and then all across the bottom is black as well. Yeah. Then once you get to the C-clip, you're going to actually flip back to your light orange color, so and you'll just make a slip stitch. And then move the C-clip up. Yep. And you should still have 16 loops, so you can count that if you want, but it should also be looking something like this. But I'm just going to check something on my pattern, and then I'll tell you what to do next. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you where to add the legs. I could refilm this, but I'm just going to do this my way. So, we add the legs on the bottom here, so let's just undo the slip stitch really quickly. I forgot, the pattern in the description had where to add them, but we were supposed to add them on the 10th, I think. No, on the 16th and 13th, so if you think about it, this is the, wait, 16th. Oh. We had it right here. So this is the 16th loop, so we'll undo it, I think. Let me check. Okay, yeah, so right after we undid the C-clip stitch, the next one, that's where the leg's gonna go. We're going backwards, by the way, because I forgot to add them in, and I'm too lazy to refilm the whole thing. But we're gonna add this one in here. And also on the 13th, so this is 16, 15, 14, 13, so there should be 2 blacks in between. 2 black stitches. Leg will go on this one. I do undo the thing we used to tie it and then redo it. We do also slip stitch because we're flipping colors, so yeah, it's not a big deal though. I always forget about the legs. Actually, this one on the C-clip doesn't have to be a slip stitch anymore because we're already in the light orange color. So that works out. I'll show you what we did. So basically I forgot I had the legs, so I just went back in and added them. They should be on the 16th and 13th. 13th? Am I right? Yes. And basically there should just be 2 black bands in the middle, so it should be looking something like this. Okay. So, now... Oh, okay, I can't spell. I thought it said hand. I'm reading my own pattern. Basically, we're going to start adding the white for her underneath. And the white this time is going to be on the 16th and the 12th. 12th. So over here. And basically the rest is all light orange. Oops, I really knocked my camera over. So we're going to do that. I'm just picking up some light orange. But basically we'll be doing, since it's on the 12th, we're going to be doing 11 normal stitches. So this is 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Basically, it should be the one before the leg. 6. And once we get the initial, like, 2 white bands placed, it's easy to figure it out in the next rows where the white goes because it's right by the white we had before, so it's just placing these first ones that are kind of annoying, but yeah. Okay, so on the one before the orange one that should have the leg on it, that one's going to be the one that's white. So we'll just slip stitch to white. And then we'll slip stitch back to orange. I couldn't think of the word orange. Oh my, we're getting close to my phone's gonna time out. Okay, I had to like pause the video to break it up because after 20 minutes my camera like times out. But I checked and I got an email from the art thing I entered and I got in to be part of some project. Like, oh my god. I thought I wasn't gonna get in. I thought I entered late, so I'm excited now. I even edited it out of my cherries video if you watched that because I was like, I think I missed the deadline because they didn't like reply to me, but I got in. Sorry for that bit of a distraction. I should be explaining, but oh my god, I'm happy. Okay. And then the next white one should be the 16th, which is basically the one before the C-clip. I just go right back to explaining. Yeah, that's so exciting. I'm so happy I got in. It was funny though, because I literally just went to flip and I saw I had like 3 emails. And I'm like, I don't get emails. And then, yeah, one was from the thing, and I'm so excited. But yeah, the 16th should be white. Just slip stitch to white. And then we'll slip stitch back to orange. And that's it for this row. So basically all we did this row was we added 2 white ones down here on the bottom. It should be on the 16th, so the one before the C-clip, and then basically the one before the leg. It's easy where they're marked. And then... okay. And then the next row is going to be very similar to this row, so we're just adding white. We're going to add white on this one before the white one, on the white one, and then it'll be orange, and then we're going to add white again on the one before the white one and on the white one, the white loop. So that's where the white's going to be for this row, and the rest of this is just going to all be orange. So, yeah. I'm sorry if I got distracted from explaining, but I'm so happy I got in. Well, I mean, it's kind of a cool project, basically. There's this, like, I'm just going to start doing single stitches until we get to where I need to put the white, but I'm just going to talk, so, you know, whatever. But basically, they're doing a card deck, for local LGBT people who made a difference, like, in my town, and they were looking for artists to obviously design the cards and like do things of these people. And I was worried because when I was reading on their website, they're like, oh, we should have everybody selected by like April, and I was like, oh my god, I submitted it in May and I haven't heard anything. So I really thought I didn't get in, but I got in, and I think it's a really cool project because they're making a card deck of like local LGBT people, which is cool, and I'm really happy I get to actually design some cards. So you'll probably see some of that from me now. Well, you'll see it on my other account, gingercel4, if you want to see how my cards turn out, but oh, that's so exciting. Anyways, we're on the one right before the loop that is white, so this one's going to be white, so flip to white. And the one next to it's white as well. So, yeah. And then the next 2 are going to be orange, and then it'll go back to white. And then after this we should be at the C-clip, so we'll just flip back to orange. And you should still have 16 loops all the way around, but now it should be looking something like this. So we have some white patches right there. And there should just be 2 orange stitches in the middle. The way I like to measure if the white is in the right place is you should only have 2 orange stitches in the middle, and then there should be 2 white on each side. And if it looks like that, it's correct. Okay, but for this next row, we're going to be adding more white on the bottom. So the white this time is going to go from the 11th to the 15th. So basically this one right before the end is going to be where the white ends, and the white's going to start on the first white loop. So it only goes right here. So basically, yeah. And the whole top is just orange again. I'm still so excited. Like, I'm trying to finish filming this tutorial, but on the inside, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell everybody I got in. Especially one of my friends. I was texting him yesterday. He's one of my newer friends. I met him online, and I was like, I don't think I got in. And then he was like, you should probably give up because you're impatient. Because all week I've been like, because the deadline was the 17th, and all week I've been like checking my email, like, is it here? So yesterday I finally gave up on getting in, and then I got in, which is exciting. I know it's not that big of a deal. No one probably applied, but I'm happy. Yeah. Which is just so exciting. Just so exciting. Okay. And then let me make sure that the next one's the 11th. So I'm just going to count backwards to check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So this next one's the 11th. So we're going to start adding white on this one. And we're going to basically kind of go across the bottom. I hope I'm not being confusing with talking about other things while explaining, but like I just have to single stitches across the top. Like it's not that hard. I don't know, but sometimes people get mad when I like flip between talking and explaining, but I think it makes it interesting. So, you know. But yeah. So once we get to the 11th stitch, or basically the first white stitch, you're gonna flip back to white, and then we're gonna do white on these next few stitches until we get to the first white on this side. So these all should be white. And then basically on the second white loop, we're going to switch back to orange. So we'll just slip stitch back to orange. And then we'll make a stitch with the band that has a sequin on it. And move it up. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the right row, but we're actually almost done. We only have, well, minus the decreasing. We're on row, where are we on? We're on row 6 of normal, and there's 8 total, so we only have 2 more to do around. Yeah. So this time we're going to be adding white on the 10th, so this first orange loop is going to turn to white, but all these across the top are going to be orange still, so we're just going to do orange. Oh, I think it's starting to get towards lunchtime because I feel hungry. That always happens when I film tutorials. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be quick. I'll be done in time to do things, and then I don't. So, yeah. Oh my god, why am I having so much trouble making stitches? It's also kind of not fun because I'm like sweating because I have a light on next to me because it's been helping my tutorials look nicer, but like, I don't know what about light makes everything, like it feels hot in here. That was also possibly like kind of TMI, but oh well. Okay, and then once we get to the one loop right before the white loop, we're going to switch to white. And then basically we're going to do white all across. Just forgot a slip stitch almost. But basically we're going to do white all across the bottom. Well, all the way until this last white loop is all going to be white again. Yeah. Also, just wanted to say, if you guys have seen anything from Miraculous Season 4, do not tell me. I am avoiding spoilers. There was like because I used to be in the Miraculous fandom when like Season 4 wasn't coming because like just reading fan comics and things, but I recently got out of it and I do not want to know any spoilers. I take spoilers so seriously. Let me finish explaining and then I'll continue my spoilers rant, but so we stopped the white at the one before the C-clip, and yeah, so this one before the C-clip, we'll switch back to orange, and then we'll move the C-clip up. Like that. And she should be looking something like this at this point. Yeah. And then once again, for this next row, we are going to add the legs, I think. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. So, are we on the right row? Am I on the right row? Yes. Yes. So we're gonna add the legs. I only made 2 legs earlier, so we make the legs exactly the same. I'm gonna show you one more time just in case you forgot to make the legs just like I did. But basically it's a magic ring with 4 stitches in it, so we'll wrap a band 3 times around our hook. And then we'll put 4 stitches in this. I'm not gonna explain too intensely because like we've already made 2 legs. And we've done magic rings twice already in this tutorial, so yeah. I'm just going to put 4 stitches in this cap band. And then once you've done 4 stitches, you'll go into the first loop. And then you'll pull a light orange band through everything. And then I kind of tie it off just to set it aside just because I don't want it to come undone. And you'd have to make another leg, so I'm going to go make the other leg real quick. Okay, so like I said, this row we're going to be adding, I finished making the legs, but this row we're going to be adding the legs, and where the legs are going to go. So all across the top again is going to be orange, and then when we get to here, this first white loop is where the first leg's going to go, and then it'll be white under the middle, and then on this, so here's the first white loop on this side, on the second one from the end, that's where the other leg's going to go. So I'll show you what I mean, but that's basically where the legs go. So once again, all across the top is just going to be orange. And I'm just going to go across the top. And I need more orange bands. Actually, I have to pull more orange bands out. I need more than that. Okay. I try to pick up bands quickly, but I never do. Okay, so now on, like I said, on the 10th, we're going to be putting the first leg. So this one right here, it's going to have the first leg on it. Like I said, because we tied it just to hold it, we're going to want to undo that. And then we'll just use this to make a stitch. And then the next one will be white. So we'll flip a slip stitch back to white. And the next one will be white as well. And then the next one's also white. And then on this, on the 14th is where the other leg would go. So this is the 16th, that's the 15th. And basically on the second to the end white loop is where the other leg is going to go. So we're going to flip back to orange. And then it's just orange till the end. Like that. Should be looking something like this. And now this is going to be, well actually that was the last row of single stitches, so that was row 8. And now we're going to start closing this up. So we're going to be decreasing every 4th this row. Basically that means every 4th stitch we do is going to be a decrease, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is 1 and 2, 3, and then the 4th stitch is going to be a decrease. And what a decrease is, in case you don't know, is you grab the front part of the first loop, then the back part of the next loop, and then you'll just make a stitch on this. And we're going to keep doing that every 4th loop. So 1, 2, 3, and this next one's 4. It'll be a decrease. And the white on this row goes on the 11th and 12th, so the next one is still, should still be, Let me check real quick. Yeah, wait. Okay, so this is 8. So the 11th and 12th, like I said, are still white. So 8, 9, 10. That doesn't make sense. Let me go check. Okay, I had it wrong in the pattern. So we just finished doing this decrease, and then the next one's going to flip back to white. And this one, the one next to it will be white as well. And then we'll flip back to orange. Yeah, flip back to orange on this one. So we'll slip stitch back to orange. And then the next one's going to be a decrease. And that should be the last decrease for this row. And then we'll just do single stitches until we get to the C-clip. So basically, instead of going on the, what was it, the 12th and 11th like I had written, the white actually went on the 9th and the 10th. But I showed you where to put them, so you should be fine. But after that row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You should have 13. Let me double check that. Let me go off camera and double check. Okay. So yeah, you should have 13 loops. Also, that was the very last of the white we're going to do. So the rest of this is just orange, and we're just closing her up. So it's really easy. Also, at this point, you're going to want to stuff her a little bit. Usually I do. So you can take your hook out if you want. The C-clip should hold it as long as you don't pull on it too much. You're just going to stuff them a little bit. Might need to add a little more stuffing later, but it's fine. So this row we're going to be decreasing every third, and that's basically the same as increasing every third, but except every third loop we do a decrease. So I will show you. I am so hungry right now. So that's 1, this next one's 2, and then on the next one would be 3, so it's going to be a decrease. So we grab the front part of the first loop, and the back part of the next loop, make a stitch. And we're just going to keep doing that. So we basically do 2 single stitches, and then a decrease. And we just keep doing this all the way around. So 1, 2, and decrease. Let me count. I don't know if I lost count there. Okay, we're good. So the next one will just be a single stitch, and then the one with the C-clip on it will also be a single stitch, so we're just gonna make a single stitch on that. Move the C-clip up. And after that row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I always just double count, but you should have 10. And now this next row, we're going to be decreasing every other loop. So it'll be a single stitch, a decrease, a single stitch, and a decrease. And we basically do that for this whole row. And we are almost done with the body. And then we just have to put on all her accessories, which does take a second, but yeah. So we just did a single, so the next one's a decrease. And then we're going to do a single stitch. And a decrease. And we just keep doing this. So single, then decrease. Do a single stitch. Then a decrease. Oh, also, I'm decreasing on the one with the C-clip in it, but at this point, because it's basically the end, we can just take the C-clip out. I'll still count to tell you how many we should be at. So we should be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now we're just going to decrease everything until it's closed. Also, I'm sorry I threw that pencil aggressively. I was fixing my pattern. But we're just going to be decreasing everything until it's closed, like I said. So every single stitch we do should be a decrease. And then once you get to the very last decrease you can do, you're just going to pull band through everything on your hook. And pull tight. And then to hide the tail in, you're just going to pull it back down into the Tsum Tsum somewhere. So like that. And right now she should be looking something like this. If her butt looks a little funky, it's just because you need to tuck the tail in better, but it kind of usually fixes itself. But yeah, so now we're just going to be adding all of her hair and accessories and things. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to get started on her hair and stuff. I'm going to make the flaps. Well, I don't know what to call these. Her basically bangs first, and then we'll continue adding things from there. So to make these, what we're going to do is we're going to double a band. And then we are going to chain 2 on. I'm just triple checking we're doing the right thing. And then basically in this first loop we're going to be putting 3, so we'll pull another band through, put the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go back in and we're going to put 2 more stitches in this chain. 1, 2. And then this next part of the chain we'll be putting 2 stitches. So 1, 2. And then on this end cap band we'll be putting 3 again. And then that is it. And then, how did I tie it in? Okay, and then we're just going to go back to the cap band, we'll pull a band through everything. Then we'll tie this into her head. So I do try to put the split of the bangs right in the middle. This one's going to go this way, so I'll usually just come wherever I feel the middle is. So I'll go right here. And, oops. And we'll just pull this band through and tie it. And then you'll tie the other half, or the other end. Tie it down over here. And I usually tie down, I don't tie like the stitches, I just tie like the chain down into the other half. Like that. And then there's one. So we're going to do this exact same thing again. So we're going to make another piece of hair exactly like the one we just made. So a cap band with 3 on each end and then like 2 in the middle. So we're just rewind and make another piece of hair, and I'm going to pause and then I'll come back and show you how to attach that piece. Okay, so I made the other piece, and basically we're just going to tie it in the same-ish spot in the middle as we did before. I'm just making sure it's focused. It's like right here. I'll usually go through the same stitch even. Then tie it in. Oh my god. And then actually to tie down the sides, sometimes I do, instead of going through the chain, I'll go through this first loop. And then I'll tie it down. So we'll do that. And usually I just tie it in wherever it feels like it ends, so like probably right here. The bangs are really easy to do. It's hard to kind of tie these in wrong. Usually I also only have to tie them in like in the middle and then at the ends, and then it looks pretty good. Last time I did though, I did tie this together because I didn't like how this looked. So we can tie this together. Like that. Yeah, the bangs are kind of interesting, but I should just tuck all the tails in now. I don't know if I tied this thing in the middle in the best spot. You can always adjust that. I don't think I did. Yeah, because I did tie it in the middle up here, but it was a little back. I think I tied it a little too forward, so it kind of looks funky. Yeah. Let me check her bangs really quick. I did them right. I'm just trying to tie them correctly. Okay. So I fixed her bangs. Basically, I just undid the stitch I did in the middle, and then they looked fine, so... Yeah, I also didn't perfectly center them. You can tell they're kind of overlapping. So just make sure you put yours in the center. It was just kind of hard for me to see because, like, you put the middle bit in the middle because I was on camera. But yeah, she still looks good. So now we're going to do the ponytail. And basically to do the ponytail, all I did was I would just, well, I'll show you, but I'm just making sure of something. Okay. So we're going to want to go in the middle, in the very back, and this will be the longest piece of her hair. And we're going to chain up 3 orange ones and then 1 white one on the end. So this is 1, 2, 3. And then the next chain we do should be white. And then we'll tie it off at the end with a white band. And we could just leave it like this for now. And then basically, let me triple check something real quick. Okay. Basically on these, we're going to do 2 on this side, 2 on this side. And then we put some up here at the top. They're all done the same. I kind of didn't really write down what I did with the ponytail. I kind of just like felt it, how I should go, like how it should go. So it's a bit interesting. I need more white bands. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So on the 2 sides of this ponytail, we're gonna only chain up 2 orange. Oops. So 1, 2. And then the one on the end will be white. And then we'll tie it off. And then we're going to go do the same thing on the other side of this ponytail. So we'll chain up 2. And then, so we chained up 2, and then the last one will be a chain of white, and then we'll tie it off with a white band. To keep triple checking, I know what I'm doing, but okay. And then in front of these 3 we put in the back, we're going to chain up 2 from somewhere here in the front. You're just going to want to pick a spot and go in. Doesn't really matter where, just go under some bands. Chain up 2 with orange. And then the last one will be white. And then we tie it off with a white band. And we're going to do the same thing in a spot right next to it. So this one's here. So we'll go like right here-ish. It doesn't really matter where you go as long as you go under some bands. I'm trying to go under these right there. Just like before, we'll chain up 2. And then we'll chain 1 white one onto the end and tie it off. Her hair's kind of coming together. And then, okay, I'm doing it right. I just have to keep checking because I didn't write down the pattern for her hair. So, yeah. And then basically next, like in between to where we put these up and down, we're going to just chain up 1 with an orange. Oops. I'm just going to chain up 1. And then the next chain will be white. And we just tie it off like that. So basically we're just going to put 2 very short ones on the in-betweens on the ends. I don't know where to go here. I'll go right here. You just chain up 1. You chain up 1 white one, and you tie it off. I hope that all made sense, but basically we just made a bunch of chains with white on the ends. There's one really long one in the back that's chained up 3 and then white, and then most of the other ones are chained up 2 and then white. And then there's just 2 on the ends that are chained up 1 and then a white one on the end. And then basically all I did after I did this was I took an orange band and I tied it around this twice. So 1, 2. We can spread this out. And then basically to clean up the ends so that way they're not, they're not all like this. I just wrapped the tail around the end of the white band. You kind of have to hold on to it, kind of weird. But it is possible to just wrap it around a couple times. Look at that. It should look like that. And you're just going to want to do that to all of these white on the ends, like the tails. You're just going to want to wrap them around the white chain that's below them. So I'm going to go off camera to finish wrapping these around because it does take a second. And there's quite a few. Just hold on to them and you should be able to wrap it around. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so after you've wrapped around all the bands, it should look something like this. And if you want, you could add more or less chains to her ponytail. This is just the same amount I did as for her. I really don't like how these aren't centered. Like, you should be like that, but it's fine. Okay, so next we're going to do the ears. And the ears are pretty simple. They're kind of similar to if you've ever done my Loomigurumi bunny design. Kind of like that. So, of course, you're going to need... I need black. Do I have black? No, I don't have black. It's really kind of weird how you do them, but it's like the best way to do it. So, you need some few black bands. So many caramel bands everywhere. We're done with those, but they keep getting in the way. Okay. So basically for the ears, what we're going to do is we're going to go basically on either side of the ponytail, and we're going to just go in. So we're going to go right here. And then we're going to chain up 2. I forgot if it was 2 or 3. We're going to chain up 2. So 1, 2. And then we're going to tie the end with a black band. And we're just going to leave it like that. So now you're going to want to get some of your neon orange bands. Okay. So now you're going to want to get some of your neon orange bands, and we're going to start by... So you're just going to want to go through part of her hair. And then you're just going to make a stitch like that. And then this is the part that's a little confusing. So we're not going to go into the front half of these loops. So as you can see, there's like a front half and then a back half. We're only going to go through this back half. So like this much of it, if you can see that. And we're going to put a stitch in this. And then we're going to go up to the next chain and we're going to put 2 stitches in this back half of this loop. You're going to want to make sure that your chain is facing forward. We're going to put 2 stitches. And then we're going to go to the other side of this knot and we're going to do 2 more. And once again, we're still only going through this back half. So it's a little easier to see now. So let me show you. So basically you have your chain that's up like this. And then there's like this front half of the band and then the back half. And we're only going through the back half. And we're going to do 2 stitches on this top loop. But that's basically what we're doing. And we're going to do it again for the second ear. I'm going to show you twice in case you're confused on this ear. But to me, it seems pretty simple. And then you're just in this very bottom chain. You're still only going to go through the half. Like this. And then you're going to want to get an orange band and just tie it into the hair somewhere. So just get an orange band, go through everything. And just tie it off. And tuck it in. like this. And this very last band is not cooperating, it's being very loose, so you can just pull on it to get it to be less loose. But it should look something like this right now. And usually what I'll do is I'll go into the back of this and I'll tie some of these loops together because I don't like that it's so like wide. So I'll just tie some together. And then we'll hide the tail in to her. Like that. And then after doing all that, you should have something that looks like this. And then what we're going to do, and this is very similar to my bunny design, like I said, if you ever have done that, is we're going to go into the front of the ear here. We're just going to go down here and we're going to make a stitch. And then we're going to go into this, like where the crossbands are here. We're going to go through that. Make a stitch. And then we're going to undo this very knot at the top. And we'll just slide that white band onto it and then tie it off. And that should be it for the ear. And it should look correct. Yeah. You can pull on the the black bands if you want it to be a little bit more noticeable. And just hide the tail in. And ta-da, there's an ear. Like that. I feel like mine looks a little funky, I don't know why. But they should look. Oh, that's about right. And we're just going to do the exact same thing again. If you were lost, I'm going to show you how to do it one more time. But we're almost done. We just had to do her tail. Well, her tail, this after. Her, I don't know, fabulous flap. I have no idea. But I'll show you again in case you were confused. So we're going to go into a part of the hair, usually like right next to it. We're going to chain up 2. So 1, 1, 2. And then we're just going to tie it off with a black band. We're not going to want to pull it super tight, so just tight enough. And then we're going to get some neon orange bands. And basically you're going to want to make sure that you're holding this straight. So whatever straight is, so this is the front for me, I can tell. Just because when you pull it up, that's the way it'll, like, the bands will naturally want to go. So just, like, kind of establish what your front is. But you're going to want to start on the bottom. The hair, so just go through part of the hair and then make a stitch. And then this is the part that I feel like is confusing. So you're just going to want to hold your chain up, and then this back loop, only this part of it though, so not the front half of it, just the back half. And we're going to make a stitch on this. And then we're going to go up to the second half of the chain, and we're going to make a stitch, only 2 stitches on this back half. I feel like it makes sense when you see it more in real life. Like, I mean, you can see me doing it, but it's kind of hard to show you. I feel like when you see your ear, you'll kind of get what I mean. And then you're going to go and do the other half of the back half and put 2 stitches in it. So 1, and then 2. Did I do that right? I did not. I don't even know what I'm doing. Stitching wrong. And then we're going to go back to this first chain, and we're going to do the back half of that loop. Eep. It's undoing. It's so hard to show you guys and not mess up. And then we'll just tie this piece into the hair. So just go through part of the hair, get a orange band, and just tie it off. And it should look like this afterwards. And you can pull on this however you want. Like, you can pull on this front bit. Like that. It should look like this. So you can kind of see we have the front part of the loops that have nothing in it, and the back part has the stitches in it. And we'll just have this tail, this orange tail. And then, like I said, I don't like when this is all open in the back, so I'll usually tie like 2 stitches together in the back, just because I think it looks nicer. And then hide the tail, of course. And then we're going to do the same thing with the white. So you're going to want to get 2 white bands. And you're going to go into this part of the hair, like right in front of the black stitch. You're going to make a stitch. And then you're going to want to go through like only the first half. Just like the middle of the second, where these stitches connect. Where the loops connect. You'll make a stitch on that. And then you're going to undo the top of this black band. Slide the white band. And then tie it off. And then you just have the tail. So that is how you do it. Sometimes the black won't stand out as much, but you just need to pull on it a little bit, and usually it'll be fine. Yeah, see, like that. And then she should have ears. So the very last thing we need to do is we just need to do her. I have no idea what this is, but it's on her costume. And, I mean, she could be done like this, but I added this because it was on her costume. So, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I didn't write down the pattern for the tail because I forgot, so I'm going to try to write it down as we go. And we'll see how this goes, but basically we're just going to stitch across 6 across the back here. You can go a little higher, but I think I went about right here. Let's see. Here's the one. I'm gonna go like right here, and we're just gonna stitch 6 across, so just pick a spot on your Tsum Tsum. I kind of went like right in the middle, so about right here. And we're just gonna stitch across the back of here 6. And you can kind of tell where I'm going, so I'm kind of going like, you see this like a crossband, I kind of go right under that. And I'm just stitching across 6. So we've done 1, 2, 3. So this will be 4, 5, and then 6. And then once we get to the end, instead of like going, I guess like you would in a circle, we're just going to turn our hook around. So, oops. We'll just turn our hook around, and we're going to start stitching back into all 6 of these loops. And we're just doing 1 stitch in each loop. So just single stitches in all these loops. It's kind of hard to stay on camera because I'm trying to stitch across. And then even though this is the next loop is technically not a loop, so it's like the folded over part of the first stitch, I do make a stitch into this, so just be aware of that. Just finish off this stitch. Okay, and then once we get to the end of this, we're going to turn once again, but this time we're going to add a white band in the middle, so get some white. So we are going to turn. And then this first stitch will be orange still. And the second stitch will be orange as well. Then I think this third stitch we're going to change to white. Let me just double check that really quick. Yeah, so on this third stitch we're going to change to white. So we'll just slip stitch to white. And then we're going to do 1 stitch, just single orange. But then this very last stitch we do is going to be a decrease. So just decrease on the end. Like that. And then we'll turn again. And this time, let me pause to check. Okay, I'm just making sure. So we're going to turn, and this first stitch we do is going to be orange. And then the next 2 are going to be white. I just realized I turned the wrong way. Well, it's not a big deal. I just like to try to keep all my stitches facing the same way. But the next 2 stitches after that one are going to be white. And I'll have the pattern of what we're doing down in the description in case you're confused, but we're just turning again. And the next 2 are going to be white, so slip stitch to white. So that's 1, and the next one will be 2. And then we're going to decrease this one on the end. So after we did the second white one, it's going to be a decrease on the end. Like that. Okay, so now we are going to turn, and then these next 3 are going to all be white. So next 3 will be white, so make sure to slip stitch because we're flipping colors. For the next 3 are going to be white, so this one's white. And then the next one after this one's white. And the very last one on the end should still be orange. And we'll slip stitch back to orange. I'm sorry I have to keep pausing to see what we do next. I hope it's not too confusing. I feel you guys are getting what's going on. But let me pause just to make sure about what we do next. Okay, so we're just going to turn and we're going to go back this way. And this first stitch we do is going to be... I'm just not sure if we decrease or not. It's so hard to tell. We're like right here. I don't think we do. Okay, I'm going to go with the fact that we don't. So we'll just go into the next stitch. We'll do a single stitch. Same thing with the next stitch. So the next 2 are just going to be white single stitches. You're also going to want to make sure you slip stitch because we're flipping to white for the rest of this, I'm pretty sure. I'm just picking up some white bands really quickly. So this one should also be white. And then we're going to decrease this very last stitch. So, front part of the first loop, back part of the next loop. It's so hard to tell what's going on here, but I know that that's a stitch. And then we're going to turn again, and we're going to do a single stitch. And then we'll decrease on the end, so... No, we do another single stitch and then the next one's a decrease. Nope, that one was a decrease. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell here. I thought that was a stitch, but it's not, so this one's a decrease. And let me just make sure the shape and everything are coming out right before I finish this up. Okay, so we're good. So now we're just going to decrease until we don't have any left, which should be this last one. And then that should be it. We should tie it off. So pick up your decrease and then just tie it off. And then that should be it. And now we just tie this off. So we're just going to tuck the tail in. We're not going to pull it super tight because we want it to stay like a triangle at the end. So we'll just kind of pull it in just so you don't see the tail. And then, yeah. I don't know if I did that right. Yeah, I think I did. It's just kind of... It's fine. Yeah. So I think that is it for Rena Rouge. I hope you like this tutorial. I hope your Rena turned out okay. I actually really like how this tail turned out. I think it turned out kind of better than last time, so yeah. But I hope your Tsum Tsums, Rena Rouges turn out okay. If you make either of these, definitely share them with me on Instagram. I would love to see how yours turn out. Ladybug should be coming in the next couple days, so if you're waiting for her, I know Ladybug should be coming. I'll definitely be making a Cat Noir to go with the big one. So, yeah. So if you want to see what's coming next, definitely check out my my Instagram, gingercel. I always post all my designs there before you guys ever see them here. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials from me, or if you want to know when the rest of the Miraculous tutorials are coming. I do ask you one thing though, I think I forgot to say in this tutorial. Please do not spoil me on anything for season 4. I don't want to know. I'm going to be patient and wait for it to come on Disney+. do not tell me anything. That being said, though, I'm going to try to work to make more Miraculous characters. I'm having a lot of fun making Tsum Tsums as of recently, so there'll definitely be more to come. But yeah, also check out my Etsy if you want to buy possibly a Rena for me. I'm probably going to put her on Etsy because I already have one. And yeah, I think that is it for this tutorial, so I hope you liked it. I hope your Tsum Tsum turned out okay, and I think that is it. Bye.